a lot of money because that shit is not... You and me are not going to be taking no pictures with Laura Bush. Let me just put it that way.
That bush is far away.
Yeah, that's a bush I cannot afford. Welcome to another episode from Takedowns to Breakdowns with A&P, and today we're here to talk about Escuela Grind. Now, I know most of you don't know who they are. This guy doesn't know who they are. You never heard a single song from them. They're doing really well on the Devil's Dozen on Sirius XM, which begs the question, industry plant? I think so.
Well, yeah, if they're doing really good, and I've never heard of them before in my life.
Maybe I should backtrack here. Not because they're on the top 12 on Devil's Dozen that they are an industry plant. There's other things behind the scenes that kind of led me to believe that. I saw them live and they didn't... I didn't leave their performance thinking, well, here's a band that's going places. Like, I just felt like they reminded me of another band, actually, that has this, that has a similar aura to them. And I'll say who it is, and we'll get a little bit more into that. But anyways, right now, you cannot go on any social media platform without hearing a story about this band. And none of the stories are positive. Everything is negative. Everything is negative. So, I saw a post, I can't remember from who it was, but it's a member of a different band. And it was one of those very, I don't know, like those posts where you say something without saying something. You know, you say something without pointing the finger, but you're kind of pointing the finger if you know what the person is talking about. Okay. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the person said something that it's not cool to not let your band members wear like in-pieces or earplugs when they're performing. Like, you know... Because obviously you don't want to lose your hearing and whatever. And I saw that, I was like, what a weird take. Not that it's a weird take, but where did that come from? Like, yeah, it's a very random thing.
It's a random take, but it's also, like, kind of true. It's
no,
like,
I'm not saying the take is a bad take. I'm saying
but it's also
it felt to me that was just come out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, but yet a lot of agreements in that.
No, I agree 100% with it.
100%.
But it just felt to me like, where did this come from? Did somebody in some... Like I just felt like... There's got to be more to that than just that, all right? So I saw that post, and then a couple of hours later, I start to see on my Twitter feed or X feed or whatever, Escuela Grind as like recommended, like trending. I'm like, fuck, why are they trending? I mean, it's not for their music, so why the fuck is this band trending? So I clicked on it, and first thing that I see is that one of their former tour drivers. That drives their not their bus. They don't have a bus, just like a van. Whatever. Yeah. She came out and said that...
Fuck, they don't have a bus. They have
a van. They drive in a van. They're a small band.
But they have a driver?
Yeah, most bands, they hire somebody to do the driving and then they sell the merch because they're tired after the performance. You really want to drive the van after you played and unpacked, like it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, okay.
You really want to drive. I mean, some bands take turns.
Some bands take turns.
On who does the driving, but some bands hire somebody to do the driving.
It's the guy who does merch.
Yeah. Sometimes they have two. One for the merch and one for the driving.
And then when they get there, they switch it up.
Yes, and then they take turns or whatever. So anyways, the person who was doing their driving is no longer doing their driving. She said that she was fired, but she said that the reason why she was fired is because she didn't do things that they wanted her to do, that they wanted her to drive in an unsafe way, and she complained that they were forcing her to drive in unsafe conditions. She also said that she was approached sexually by some of the people around the band that did some sexual advances on her and some insinuations and whatever. And her laundry list of issues while she was on tour with this band is as long as the Dead Scrolls. It's fucking long. Like, she went and she broke down everything that happened and whatever. Now, when I first saw that, I was like, I don't know if she's lying or she's telling the truth, but I started analyzing it.
Let me just, whenever the allegations come out, and if it's one allegation, normally what we both say to each other is wait, because you got to wait until at least another allegation. And then another one. I think 2 is my thing. It's 1 is okay, maybe. Then when the second one hits... And
they're not related. The people, they don't know each other.
They don't know each other or whatever. Or and they're 2 different occasions or stuff. Then it's kind of okay. Because you can't make the decision on believing someone right away. But the problem that's with other industries, right? Like that's normally with like movie industry.
Don't jump the gun on anything. Just take your time to
No.
analyze the
But
situation.
for me, normally like movie industry and stuff, I actually take it lightly because sometimes a lot of the times it's just people who want to get money from.
I don't think that's the
actor.
case here. There's no money for her to gain.
But there's no money. But that's why when it comes to the metal, sadly, when it comes to the metal industry, I believe the victim almost tenfold because it's hard. It's hard to.
She has nothing to gain by coming out.
And everything to lose.
Yeah.
And everything to lose. And the thing about the metal industry is...
Because just imagine, the band knows other bands. They're on tour with other bands. It's a small world.
It's
Everybody knows everybody. If she's lying, she's never going to get any other gig with any other band.
And her coming out with this, even some other bands may not want to hire her. And what it does is she put herself in the line of fire. And...
So you must feel really strong about
You must feel really strong about it. So I fully believe. And another sad thing with the metal industry is it's not the first time this shit's happened. Like it's definitely we've done stuff about other bands doing dumb shit like this, and it's something that it's not in the community, but I feel like it's something that it hasn't really died down in the community, and I feel like it needs more awareness.
So anyway,
because of how much it happens.
So she aired out her grievances. She didn't hide behind a fake name. Like, no, she posted as, hey, this is me.
Yeah.
I was doing this work. This is what happened. Horrible working conditions. Not paying. Refusing for me to pay me at the end of the tour. Saying that I didn't do a good job. Blah, 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 blah. Because I also saw a post from somebody in another band saying that when you hire people to work for you, either be the merch guy or the driver, pay them what you agreed to pay them. Because you have to understand there's no contract. It's all word of mouth. Like, I'm going to pay you X. At the end of the tour, you could not, if you're a total douche, you don't have to pay X. You can pay Y. I mean, you're a douche if you do so. But so when I saw somebody else posting that, I was like, okay, now other people from other bands that have nothing to do with this are kind of like saying, hey, pay your people, And this goes back to the earplug thing that I just mentioned. Because one of the guitar player from the band left the band because apparently from dealing with ear loss, like hearing loss. Because apparently he wasn't allowed to have earplugs when performing. So then I was like, okay, so now this guy is leaving the band because of this. Now this ties up to the other comment that I saw from somebody else, even before I heard the original story. Now I see somebody else saying pay the people when you hire the people. Then the story comes out. Like, too many things start to kind of like line up. Like the pieces of the puzzle are starting to come together and paint a very horrible picture of this band, right? So then what happens is one of the guitar players in the band, she puts out a statement saying that none of this is true, but the usual. But the statement from her and the band, whatever, both on Facebook and not on Facebook, on Instagram, you can't comment. They block the comments. You could comment originally, but then they deleted the comments and they blocked the comments.
They got a bunch of.
I'm sure a lot of people like, yeah, whatever, come on, like.
Whatever.
Anyways, they didn't do that on Twitter and they haven't done that on Facebook. So anyhow, so there's that, which to me kind of comes across a little bit as a assumption of guilt when you do something like that. So the guy leaves the band because of that. They already had somebody in the wings to replace the guy that left the band because of the hear thing. This comes out, and I'm like, okay, what's the next shoe to drop? Because if the band is this bad, if they treat, never mind the driver, if they treat their own band member that poorly, that they don't let him wear like earplugs, that the guy has to quit the band because of his own health, if they're treating their buddy that bad, my God, like, I mean, these are horrible people, right? Man. So I'm like, okay, what's next?
What's next?
Because
Pandora's box is opened, and I'm ready.
Because there's gonna be more. There's gonna be more. So the next one that drops is a picture of the drummer. Apparently, so you have to understand also the band claims to be very inclusive. They're pro the gay community. They're pro women empowerment, girl empowerment. Feminism, like all of these great things that exist. Like very liberal thinking.
Yeah.
Very liberal thinking. And they mentioned that on every show, right? Having said that, the driver was a woman, so the message and what's happening don't kind of jive with one another.
Gives you like,
anyways.
It's giving industry plant a little bit.
No, but I got the same vibe when I saw them live because everything that I saw from them on stage kind of felt contrived. It didn't feel like it was like we really
mean
what we're saying and what we're doing. We're just trying to check all of these boxes so that
well, whenever a band comes out, like whenever a band that actually means that, their music is that, right? Like Straight from the Path, before a song, they'll say what the song is kind of about, and then they'll say the review, and then they fucking mean it.
I don't know, but imagine if you found out that one of those guys is, I don't know,
then the music,
part of the Proud Boys.
Then if you, but not only does it ruin the band, it ruins the music because the music is only good because of its message and how much you can hear.
The message is part of them, and they are the message.
And how much you can hear they
and
feel
that's what I'm
message.
saying. This band, I was when I saw them live, I'm not against the message. It's just that it didn't feel to me like the message was truthful.
Oh, okay.
Like it felt to me that they were saying these things and they were claiming to be these things so they could check all of these different boxes.
It's giving industry
and get everybody to be like, oh, let's support this band because they're very liberal thinking and very progressive. It kind of came across that way. You know what I'm saying? It would be like me putting together a band and I'm like, okay, we need to have an Asian guy. We need to have a Native American guy. Like you know what I'm saying? It's not about like having the right people to have the chemistry and because we came together and created a band. I mean, if you come together that way and you create a band that way, that's fine.
Yeah.
But starting off the band with the idea that I need to check these boxes,
I need 1, 2, 3,
so that we can then
have a diversity quota.
Not only that, but then it's like, then we can apply for a government funding from Canada because we have a Native guy in the band, so we fall under that category. We can apply for.
Stop giving people ideas.
No, but I'm just saying...
You're giving industry plants out their ideas.
I'm just saying they came across that way to me. Do you see what I'm saying? They came across that way to me. So anyways, I'm like, okay, what's the next shoe that's going to drop?
Okay.
So the next shoe that drops turns out that their drummer is what's that secret society? Not Illuminati, the other one. The Freemason. He's a Freemason.
He's a Freemason.
No, but hold on. He's not just like a guy who's like on the sidelines.
On the low.
Somebody found a picture of him during like a ceremony where he's sitting at a chair and there's all these white people because Freemasons technically is just an organization of white men. I mean, as far as I know, there's no women allowed in the Freemasons. Definitely no people of color. I've never seen like a black Freemason, but maybe there is one out there.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe you guys will prove me wrong. But anyways, so he's sitting in the chair and he's like surrounded by all these old white dudes and he's a Freemason. So people are like, for a band that claims diversity, being a Freemason doesn't really scream diversity. You know what I mean? I'm just that was like I was like
that's like right next to being a Proud Boy. Like
not as bad.
Not as bad. But it's also like.
But it's also not good.
No,
especially not. I mean, I don't have anything against Freemasons.
No,
whatever.
of course.
I'm just saying it's not good based on the message that they have.
Exactly, the message that they preach is completely different from like the Freemasons.
But then things got worse, right? Things got worse, and I think here people went a little bit too far. So people were like, okay, if this guy's a Freemason. If the band is accused of doing all of this shit, and it all seems kind of like legit, then, before that, let me drop another shoe before that. So then somebody, I don't know I think it was the same girl that was driving them and whatever, mentioned that they stole money from other bands that were on tour, and while the bands are performing, they're stealing money from their merch box. Like the band will go perform and say, "Hey, can you keep an eye out on the merch and whatever?"
Oh my god!
And they still
because they're like the first band on the stage, so they can just do that.
Yeah, because they're the first band playing.
Oh fuck!
And in some cases, if they're on a smaller tour, they may actually be the headlining on a smaller tour with small local bands. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, and then they're just stealing the money from the local bands too.
Allegedly,
whatever pennies the local bands are making.
But anyways, so she claimed that they stole some money from other bands, and they also stole apparently some meth. One of the bands, I guess a bigger band, had some meth with them. They stole the meth, then they did the meth, not knowing it was meth, and apparently they all got fucked up. So a lot of every day a new story comes out.
What did you think it was? It
hold on.
Have been weed.
No, but hold on. The last shoe that drops kind of will explain why probably they didn't know there was meth.
Oh,
so, anyways, so then there's that. So stealing of the money, you know, the
Okay.
drugs and whatever, and boasting about it in their own like private chats and
Oh,
whatnot
the WhatsApps.
on the WhatsApps. Hopefully somebody will leak those.
I'd love to see those.
And then the last shoe that dropped was, I guess, somebody knowing the name of the lead singer. Somebody went on Facebook to find out about like her, and I guess they found her parents' Facebook pages, and on her parents' Facebook pages, there's pictures of her and the parents with Laura Bush, George W.'s wife, at like a gala, which means like you have to have a lot of money because that shit is not. You and me are not going to be taking no pictures with Laura Bush. Let me just put it that way.
That bush is far away.
Yeah, that's a bush I cannot afford.
That is...
So, you know, in those pictures paint a vivid picture of not only the fact that apparently she's a trust fund girl, so the message that she's singing about like has nothing to do with her real life, and immediately, you know who I thought about it immediately?
Who?
The New World from 8 Mile. There's no such thing as a halfway crook because his parents are married and he goes to a private school like Cranbrook and whatever. Escuela Grind is the new order. Was it New Order? New World?
New World?
Yeah, whatever. The
World Order.
of the metal community, because apparently she's a trust fund baby. She's paying for everything on her not on her credit card, on the parents' credit card. That's how they're funding all of the tours.
How
and
the
all
fuck
of
are
this
they not
shit.
getting a bus then? What? So, okay.
Oh, but that's too much going against their image.
You can no, that means they probably don't even stay in the fucking, well, no, they have to stay in the van because then the driver can easily out them.
So
she's like sitting there in the van like slumming it and she's like, you know, I can get like a penthouse right now.
no, she's on the list, on the waiting list to get the Tesla pickup truck or whatever.
Oh, the fucking Cybertruck. Oh, fuck.
She's on the waiting list for that shit.
Oh, fuck.
So maybe the next tour she'll be driving everybody in
I
a
want
Tesla.
one of those. The fucking Tesla Cybertruck. That thing's awesome. That thing is fucking awesome.
So anyhow, so that was the last shoe to drop, and there's pictures of her. And it's like, people are like, oh, maybe she was just there with her parents. Listen, if my dad was still alive, and my dad and my mom had enough money, and they were Republicans, and they took me to, like, you know...
Which means they have a lot of money, because if you're a high-ranking Republican...
Yeah, and they took me to, like, something with Trump or whoever, and they said, you have to come, otherwise we're taking your credit card away and no more music for you, right? I'm gonna go, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna be like high-fiving Trump in pictures and what. Especially if that's the. This has nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the message in her music and the image that she's portraying. And then that's not the reality of who she is.
Not it at all.
Like if I'm in a band where I'm fighting the man and going against the system, right? And people who are rich and whatever. And talk about Republicans. If there's somebody out there there's totally anti-gay, are them.
Yeah, and also the system, they are kind of the system.
I mean, both parties are part of the system.
Both parties are part of the system, but I'm saying, like, the system is there, and she is, like, she is the system. She's part of the system. She's fighting against herself.
The problem is she's not fighting. Well, I don't think she's fighting. I think
they're just doing...
That's why I said the whole thing is an industry plan, because I really feel like they're just singing about whatever is trendy right now. They're checking all the boxes of everything that's trendy right now, but everything that they're saying in their music, that they're talking about and at their shows, nothing. It's not real. Nothing is real.
So why Escuela Grind?
Oh, and by the way, I forgot to tell you, but there was a video of her stage diving where she kind of completely missed the crowd and went head first. Which, when I saw that video, I was like, if you are somebody who grew up in the hardcore scene in Boston, of all places, in Boston, you should know how to crowd surf and you should know how to stage dive. Like, she did it like a trust fund baby, you know? And then they posted pictures of her with a neck brace, and for the next couple of shows she had a neck brace on, which apparently, like, nothing was wrong with her neck. They were just kind of milking all the publicity that they got out of that whole thing.
Shit.
I don't know, man. I'm not cool with necessarily, like, completely stalking the parents to find out more about the kids.
That's funny as fuck.
But this turned out pretty funny, I must say.
Is there anything else about any other band members? So one's a Freemason, the other one's a trust fund baby.
And the other ones are just riding the coattails.
Oh, really? Not one of them is not, like, I don't know.
Serial killer? No, at least not yet.
No, but like I don't know, Epstein's like long lost daughter.
Oh, somebody mentioned that the next thing to drop is that their names are going to be on the Epstein flight list.
Yeah. No, her name will be I mean,
she has money. She has money. She's paying for everything on her parents' credit card. And they reminded me of another band called Uncured. Uncured is a band that at one point in time they were on every tour as the opening band on every tour. And I saw them multiple times in multiple tours, and I was like, they're not that good. How are they on all of these tours? And they were also like on Devil's Dozen and stuff like that. And then I come to find out that the two brothers, they're twins in that band. The father's a big shot lawyer in New York, and apparently he's like funding the whole band, buying into tour packages so that the kids can go out with their band and play these tours and whatever. None is on merit.
Uncured. I'm trying to remember. Have I seen them?
Yeah, you saw them with Children of Bodom the first time we saw Children of Bodom.
Oh, fuck, it's that band! The band that we've seen, I've seen them like twice now.
I think you've seen them at least twice.
No, 3 times. I've seen them 3 times.
I've seen them like 4 times.
I've seen them 3 times.
But they've disappeared.
And each time I've seen them, I didn't like them. And I'm like, fuck, I've seen these guys before, I don't like them. But then they just disappeared.
That comb over.
Yes, and they just
super buffed and
they just disappeared.
They just disappeared. You don't hear anything about them. You don't see anything about them. I don't know what happened. Maybe now they have a different hobby. Now maybe they're into bodybuilding now. They're not into band anymore. And the father now is
credit card.
So anyways, it reminded me of them because they were also, to me, felt like an industry plant. They were signed to a major label.
They didn't feel like an industry plant, but they just felt like they were not good in my opinion.
Yeah, so the father was paying them to be on the bill. So when these stories came out, about Escuela Grind, the first band that I thought about
was Uncured
because I'm not saying that they were unsavory to other people and whatever. But
they're both industry plants.
Yeah, they're both industry plants.
At least those guys, they did there's nothing that has come out, so I can just say like they haven't done anything. But damn, Escuela Grind. Why Escuela Grind? What the fuck is what school grind? Why?
Once again, going for the Latino checkbox. I mean, there's a couple of Latinos in the band. Yeah, there's one less now because they kicked the guy who couldn't. He was like, ¿Qué? ¿Qué pasa?
The fucking Hispanic School of Rock, and they just stopped. Like, why? It's such a, I don't know. It's such a stupid story.
When I saw them, I was like, something's wrong with this. So there's something about this doesn't seem right to me. Just didn't. I was like, I'm not totally sold on this. So when this story came out,
I never watched the movie. What was that movie?
And by the way, I'm not gonna be sitting here and throwing Liquid Metal under the bus. But aren't you telling me that the labels don't throw some money at them to get some of their songs more playtime and even to make it to the Devil's Dozen and whatever?
Right. I think Uncured was also...
They were in the Devil's Dozen too.
They were in the Devil's Dozen too, and I didn't like them at all. I didn't think they should have been there.
I don't know, man. When I see these kind of things happen, I'm like, they're not there based on their merit. Somebody's getting some money under the table. Or over the table. Or on the table. Whatever.
With the table.
Or they're getting the table too. I don't know, man. It just makes you wonder. Because I know, for example, labels and stuff like that, they pay magazines to have some of their artists featured and on covers and that kind of stuff. I mean, some of the stuff sometimes gets done on pure merit. Like the PR really works hard to get an artist on the cover of a magazine and this and that. But a lot of the times there's also money being exchanged in order for that artist to be... Especially when it's artists that don't really merit said advertisement. So I wouldn't be surprised if
Liquid Metal
is pumping the Escuela Grind because they're getting some.
Well, they shouldn't because of all the allegations and stuff.
Yeah, it came at a bad time.
It's true.
They came at a bad time. I was gonna tweet at Sean the Butcher like, dude, read the room. Read the room right now.
Read the room.
It's not a good time for you to be pumping some Escuela Grind right now. Read the fucking room.
It was never a good time.
It was never a good time. But hey, it's all about the Benjamins, baby. It is what it is.
Fuck, we went through a roller coaster of...
but the story's still unraveling.
Unfolding, yeah.
So I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, and I don't know what the next day is going to bring. I mean, every day something... We found out another... Like, I didn't know yesterday when I found out about the Freemasons that today she was going to be a trust fund baby hanging out with Laura Bush.
What's funny is, when you just said, sexual stuff... I'm like, okay.
That's as bad as it can get.
No. For me, because I also didn't know there was chicks in the band, right? So I'm like, okay, it's another band of dudes being fucking creepy.
No, there's 2 girls in the band, which makes it even more weird.
It makes it even worse because now it's like, it makes it worse because my thought process was, it was just some creepy ass dudes and they're trying to do some creepy ass like pervy shit, right? But now that there's chicks in the band, you're fighting for what you're doing. Like, you're fighting yourself.
You're claiming that you're pro feminism and whatever, but you're allowing...
You're grabbing people by the pussy.
Well, not them, not the girls.
No, but
yeah.
Yeah, they're going the same route.
Yeah, but look at Epstein. His wingman was a wing woman.
True. Oh God, one of the other band members is gonna be on the
list.
No, it's gonna be like the daughter of like Epstein
hanging out at the show wearing an Escuela Grind T-shirt.
Oh fuck!
Somebody to finish off.
Somebody his wife.
Photoshop.
Is his wife in prison or is she dead?
It was not his wife. It was like
or whoever the fuck.
The cohort. She's in prison.
Yeah, she's in prison. Someone needs to mail her an Escuela Grind T-shirt.
She was the groomer.
Yeah, someone needs to mail her an Escuela Grind T-shirt.
No, but
and get her to wear it.
No.
Dude,
somebody Photoshop fucking Kanye West with an Escuela Grind T-shirt.
No, he's changed. He's a changed man.
No, because the thing said this guy has a horrible taste in bands because a couple of weeks ago was Varg. Or actually, was it Varg?
No,
it was Burzum.
He was, but his whole album, like his cover and everything, is Burzum themed because even some of his songs have some samples from Burzum.
Was that authorized? Because I know the ones from Ozzy Osbourne.
Varg's dead.
He's not dead. What are you talking about?
Varg died. Varg is dead.
He's not dead, dude.
What is he doing? Because
he was in jail. He came out. He's
No, brother. Dude was in jail. Came out, had a YouTube channel that I subscribed to, not because I like Varg, because this guy's...
This needs another video.
On. No, I was subscribed to Varg, not because I like Varg, but it's like, when you follow those videos of, like, people trying to bring a pickle to life, and they, like, zap it with shit, and they put, like, DNA, and you just want to see where this craziness goes? That's exactly what the fuck subscribing to Varg was. And then he deleted his channel after...
He didn't delete. YouTube
took down his channel, right? But then nothing.
He's not dead, though.
I swear he's dead.
No, he's not.
Last time I saw him...
He said that Kanye West is a great artist.
Oh, really? He's still alive? Fuck, I thought he was dead. Because then he was like... He said like something about him doing He did the Notre Dame fires or some bullshit. He deleted... they deleted his channel a year after the whole Notre Dame thing because he put like 5 videos about him doing Notre Dame.
Or he does have experience.
Or something. He's like, Notre Dame is this conspiracy theory. Like, he was one of the people who I didn't think he was mentally fucked. I just thought he did the murder because black metal and shit. No, he was like, he's a nut job. He's a nut job. Like, he's the one thing when we go to Norway that I'm kind of scared of running into is Varg.
I think he's out of... He's not.
He lives in the mountains with his wife or whatever. Like
he's not in the.
I don't know, man. I'm still scared. I'm gonna like look behind me and this guy's gonna be like black metal steps down.
No, he's.
And then he goes back to the fucking Hilton Hotel of prisons.
No, he's not in the on the grid. Not on the grind.
Yeah, he's on the grid. Yeah,
he's not on the grid.
The only thing that was keeping him on the grid was him posting the YouTube videos.
Yeah. Anyhow,
I've been trying to find the
Photoshop of Kanye West with an Escuela Grind T-shirt is epic, though. All right, so anyhow,
someone needs to send the fucking bitch the Escuela Grind T-shirt.
Just
take the picture.
Just let us know what you think about this whole thing, and I'm just wondering what's going to be the next shoe to drop. That's all.
Yeah.
All right,
dude, this is gonna be hilarious.
I'm following this like daily,
dude.
I'm following this daily.
I need another driver to come out. I need one more driver. Maybe one more driver.
Fuck, the guy their own band member coming out and saying that they were like mean to him about the
earpiece. The one thing, I don't remember the name of the movie, but do you know the movie where the guy was the drummer and he goes deaf? Yeah,
that's a fucking good movie.
That's a really good movie, and he goes deaf. All it would have fixed it, earplugs, right? But he doesn't believe in earplugs because they're punk. Yeah, like, haven't they watched that movie?
No, apparently not. So anyhow, on that note, guys, thank you for watching this video. Hit us up in the comment section. Escuela Grind, the story continues. Maybe we'll have a volume 2 of this conversation.
It rolls off the tongue so well, but it makes no sense.
Okay. We'll see you all at the next one.
See ya.